Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about some of the products that I am going to be trying to use up in 2018. One of my 2018 resolutions is to buy less makeup and use what I have. I really want to get in the habit of not purchasing stuff that I don't need or that I have a ton of that kind of product back at home. I just want to get in the habit of using stuff up before I purchase new stuff. So that is eyeshadow palettes, foundations, primers, moisturizers, pretty much everything, the whole spectrum of makeup. I have more than I can possibly use up, especially if I keep buying more. So my big goal of the year is to pretty much save my money, stop buying so much stuff, and use up what I have. So that goes along with Project Pans, which I absolutely love doing. I've done a couple in the past. So without further ado, let's get into all the products I'm going to try to use up in 2018. There's probably going to be more products throughout the year that I'm going to add into these, and I will give you updates throughout the year about how I'm doing using them up, but these are the items that are either getting old or I'm getting tired of, but I don't really want to get rid of. I more just want to use up for whatever reason. The first thing I want to talk about is my Naked palette. The main reason I want to pan this palette is because I would like a new one. I've had this for so very long. It's definitely starting to get old, and I'm starting to have to like work with it a little bit more. It's not like expired quite, or it's not like totally dead to me quite yet, but this is my favorite palette. I do want to buy a new one. I just don't feel right buying a new one when I already have this one. So I want to work really hard to just use this palette as often as possible, reach for it, continue to reach for it. This is my favorite palette of all time, so that's not really the issue. I just feel like I can forget about it after a while just due to new palettes and stuff like that, because this is the first ever palette I ever bought. I just want to get more into these shades, really try to like pan them as much as I can so that by halfway through the year or so I can get a new one and not feel guilty about it. Next up is my Benefit Hervana blush. This is one of my all-time favorite blushes, especially from Benefit. I just find this to be super wearable and nice, very cool toned, and I just like it a lot. I have hit pan on it right in the center, if you can see that. I love this. I think this is really underhyped. Nobody really talked about it when it came out, and nobody talks about it now. The box blushes are kind of like old news now, but I do want to use this up because it is my favorite. I don't just want to like throw it away, but it is getting old, so I do want to really give this some use before I have to throw it away. Next up, we have the Glam Glow Thirsty Mud Hydrating Mask. This is something that I originally thought broke me out. I don't think it actually does. I think I just used it right after a sunburn, so my skin was super sensitive and it just didn't react well. I have used it since, and I haven't had a breakout with it. This is getting old. I've had it for a while. It wasn't opened for most of the time that I owned it, but it is time to just start to use these. They do expire pretty quickly, so I do just want to get my use out of this before I have to get rid of it. Next up is something I really wish I could just throw away, but I just can't in good conscience, and that is my IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Airbrush Perfecting Powder with 50+ SPF. I've had this for about 6 months now, and I just don't like it. I don't find that it actually sets my makeup all that well, and it's just not my favorite. My number one favorite use of it is just to get that SPF without other makeup on. So obviously I've used quite a bit of this. I just want to get rid of it so I can stop having to like guiltily, when I pick up my Kat Von D, which is my favorite powder, I don't want to feel guilty about it because I know I'm avoiding this one. So I do just want to use this, even if it's in conjunction with other powders, just use this for the SPF and use it to get rid of it basically. Going along with powders, this is my Bare Minerals Concealer in Well Rested. This used to be super popular here on YouTube, and I did pick it up because of that. I don't love it. I think I definitely would use it more on no makeup days or when I'm just putting powder on my skin. This is really what I'm going to reach for on days when I feel like concealer is going to be a little too much. However, I do feel like this looks a little yellow on my skin, so some days I really don't like it. I also think I avoid it with foundation because of that yellowness, so I do just want to get my use out of it so I can pass it on, so I can throw it away. I've had this for a while, so, you know, it is definitely time to start thinking about getting rid of it, and it's just not my favorite thing, but I do just want to use it up instead of throwing it away. Along the same vein as that, this is my Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Airbrush Foundation in Fair Honey. I loved this when I first got it, and I have actually been using it quite a bit in the past month or so just because I'm lazy and this is really easy to put on. However, I just feel like it's not my favorite thing in the world, and while it is really nice lazy makeup, it is probably getting old and probably past its prime, so I do just want to use up the last bit of this before it goes bad. Then I have my Jouer Matte Moisture Tint. I've had this for quite a while, and I know it's definitely on its last leg, so I do want to get some good use out of this before I have to throw it away. I, for a while, didn't think I liked this that much, but now that I've worked with it a little bit more and figured out how the best way to apply it and what to use with it, I definitely like it a lot more, so I do just want to get the last bit out of this before it expires. Next up, I have my Dr. Jart UV Sun Fluid. This just goes for all of the sunscreen in my collection. I've had to throw out so much sunscreen in the past couple months just because it's expired and it doesn't work, and I kind of just want to stop doing that because it's so wasteful, and I really just feel bad when I throw out a perfect or something that I just never touched. It's also good for my skin, so I should be using it. So I'm hoping, you know, setting the goal of getting rid of most of my sunscreen, using that up, will also be good for my skin, as well as, you know, not throwing out perfectly good product that I never touched. Next up is something by a brand that I no longer talk about on my channel, and that is Too Faced. I do just want to get rid of my Too Faced Lip Insurance Original Primer, mostly because I bought this and I was super excited about it. It's fine. It's definitely good for products that aren't matte. I find that it does help with that. It's just like an extra step that I forget to do most of the time, and it is something that I just kind of want out of my collection. I'm also using up the Chocolate Soleil bronzer that I own, and just kind of getting rid of my Too Faced products because I don't like Too Faced and I don't really want to support them, especially their new products and stuff. So this is just something I would like to get rid of. This is my MAC Snob lipstick. This is the one that I definitely think is going to be the first one to expire. Not that it's like changed consistency or smell or anything yet, but I can tell that this is going to be the one that goes first. I don't know why, but I just have that feeling because all the other ones pretty much look the same. This one has kind of been through the ringer and is one of my most used ones. This one and my Lady Gaga one will probably be the ones that I focus on using up this year, and, you know, back to macking them and getting ones that I will use a little bit more. Not that I don't use this one. I definitely reach for this one a lot more than my Lady Gaga one. So I want to use up those two just so that, you know, I can back to MAC them without feeling bad about it. Next up, we have a perfume. I'm pretty good at using my perfumes. I will pretty much do, like, I use one a week. I think I have like 14 perfumes now, which is a lot and too many for one person, I'm gonna admit. I'm gonna do a collection coming up where I will probably declutter a couple. This was one that I thought I wanted to declutter until it became like its week to be used, and I started using it and I got really nostalgic for it. I just like, I don't know, I wanted to keep it. So it's the Taylor Swift Enchanted Wonderstruck. I'm way more nostalgic for the Wonderstruck perfume, mostly because my ex-boyfriend really liked it, so I wore it all the time around him, so I just kind of get a lot of memories around that. But this one's really nice and I like it a lot. I never liked any of the other Taylor perfumes, but I like this one and the Wonderstruck. So I do want to use this up just because I don't really want to throw it away. There's something in me that's like, don't get rid of that, use it. Especially because I do like this scent of it. There are a couple perfumes in my collection that I kind of dread using. So those will be the ones that I will get rid of and not try to use up. But this one I do like. I just kind of want it out of my collection, and I do just want to focus on using it up. Next up, we have this Bumble & Bumble Surf Spray. This is kind of a stand-in for, again, for all of my surf sprays. I have one by Not Your Mother's, one from Way, this one, probably have a couple more, and I used to be really into using them, and then I just kind of stopped. And I do want to start using them again because I do like the way they make my hair look when I do. I just have so many that I don't use. So I'm kind of trying to force myself to use them up because I do like them. It's just something that I like don't think to do anymore. So hopefully, you know, making it a goal will make me use them, rediscover my love for them, or realize that I do want to get rid of my surf sprays because I don't use them. Next up, we have another like stand-in product, and this is the St. Ives Fresh Skin Body Scrub. I have a couple, actually quite a few body scrubs now, and it's just an extra step that I forget to do, even though I know I should do it. I bought this one in particular when I started to self-tan a lot, and since I haven't really been self-tanning, I don't think to use it, even though it leaves my skin feeling great and I just need to use it. It's just an extra step in the shower that I don't think about. So hopefully setting the goal to use up my body scrubs will get me to do it and, you know, feel better about my skin. And finally, along the same vein as the body scrub is my lotion. So these are just little examples. This is my Body Shop Pink Grapefruit, and this is a Victoria's Secret Sheer Love lotion. Basically, I have so many lotions, and I am so bad at using them. Honestly, I should make it like one of my resolutions to like actually use lotion, because I have so many, and I never think to use lotion. I think it's because I just hate the way lotion feels on my body, like that feeling, just don't like it. But also I get really dry skin in the winter, and like I need to use these. I have been using this one, and I really do like the Body Shop Body Butters. I have so many now after Christmas. I already had like 4 or 5, so it's time to be using up some lotion. So those are all of the products that I want to use up in 2018 as of right now. There's definitely going to be more, I know, especially as I work through those. There's going to be other things that catch my eye that I'm like, you're getting old, I need to use you. So thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, all the normal stuff, and I will see you guys again really soon.